wear shorts. I'm the guy that wears shorts. It's my thing. I'm the only one. You see anybody else up here wearing shorts? They got it from me. It's not cool. So let them know. Give it up for Dave Caldwell. He's the best, huh? Dave. We forgive him his trespasses. It was the war, you know, so he did what he could to come back. Whenever I see Dave Caldwell, I like to play a quick game of Would You Rather. Would you rather, for the rest of your life, every time you think something is funny, you hear Dave Caldwell laugh right behind you? Or would you rather another 9/11? Which... It's a tough one. The best would you rathers are tough calls, and that's a good one. At first you think it's easy, but you know, a half dozen honks later, you're like, fuck, man, I don't want to watch documentaries for the rest of my fucking life. You know, to your friend, you're like, how many people died? Was it 3,000? Was it like 3,000 or did they round up from like 2,600? Because... Seriously though, Dave, shut the fuck up. Oh my God. Get COVID already. Oh no. So yeah, it's so nice to be up here. I used to live in Denver, but you know, fuck Denver. So yeah, one too many axe throwing bars for me to stay in Denver. So how are there more than one axe throwing bar? I thought that would be a one and done. You know, some psycho that inherited a bunch of money from his dead parents was like, you know what we could do with this giant space? Get people shithoused and then have them chuck axes across the room. And all of his friends are, you know, they don't want to say anything because they like how he always buys lunch. So they're like, that sounds good to me, Shane. I'll fucking work there. But yeah, they're fucking everywhere now. I feel like there's the guy that brings his own pool cue. There's definitely somebody bringing his own axe. You know, it's like, yeah, I'm saving a lot of money on the back end. The axes here aren't sharp enough. I like the vibe, but I got sick of having to spend my first half hour here sharpening an axe in the corner. So yeah, I moved from Denver down to Trinidad, Colorado. You guys been in Trinidad at all? You've probably driven through on your way to Taos or whatever. You know, you're like, what happened here? What illness overtook this population? It's fucking perfect. I like to lay low down there, you know? I'm opening an axe throwing bar, but it's the will of the people. They demanded it. Now, Trinidad's cool. A lot of big trucks in Trinidad. I'm sure that's the case here, but the big trucks are kind of offset by somebody who like made their own wooden bicycle or whatever. But in Trinidad, just big trucks fucking everywhere. Giant trucks destroying these 200-year-old roads, and then everybody bitching on Facebook about the potholes. And it's like, what are you doing? You're fucking them up. But yeah, we don't even vote for mayor. It's just whoever has the biggest truck every few years. They roll out a giant red, white, and blue scale, and they're like, all right, we're gonna cap it at 25. You can't have 2 truck bodies on one chassis. We went over that last time. We're going pure tonnage, no cheating, you know, but the answer to a lot of life's problems in Trinidad, apparently, is to buy a new truck about it, bigger the better. You got a new kid on the way, wife pregnant? All right, buy a big truck about it. For the gender reveal party, you can roll blue or pink coal. Conversely, do you have a missing child? Can't find your kid? Get a big truck, raise it high off the ground so you can find them easier. Get some halogen headlights and a custom horn so that daddy knows. All right, so that the kid knows daddy's looking for him. All right, fucking Dave. Honking away, fucking up my big chance. Did you lose a job? Buy a big truck. Buy a truck for the job you want, not the job you have. You know, just carry around a bunch of coal for a while. See if you don't get an interview or two. Fucking. That reminds me. The last job I had in Denver, other than comedy, I worked at the Mayan movie theater. You guys ever go to the Mayan? Wonderful spot. Yeah. I used to work there on South Broadway, pre-axe throwing bars. This was years ago. Before you had to pick between the different donut shops or whatever the fuck is going on down there. But yeah, it was a little scarier down there, a little harsher, whatever. And I remember one time I was working, and this dude came in full of confidence, very chipper, and he goes, "Hey, y'all hiring?" And his mouth was covered in gold paint. Just the whole mouth and lips, just gold paint. And I thought, man, this guy is really good at huffing paint, you know? No silver medal for this gentleman. He is the Shaun White of huffing paint. He asked if we're hiring. I was like, no, not today. And he was like, cool. Swivels around, walks out, just as confident. And in his back pocket, he had a can of gold spray paint. And I felt bad. I was like, man, he brought his resume. I probably should have sat him down for an interview. He's like, call anybody. Check my references. You can call Sherwin. You can call Williams. They will all tell you. I don't get the paint and the popcorn. I'll tell you that. No. So yeah, Trinidad, a lot of big trucks, a lot of manly men, you know, the traditional, super annoying, masculine, manly. My wife's family has a lot of manly men in it. You know, a lot of them like to call it old school, you know, those kinds of guys. I like to call that kind of a guy a dickhead, but there's a few different, just the kind, you know, not someone who was born in 1907, so, you know, it's too late, you know, they're not gonna change. These are guys who have had the internet, they could have learned, they could have grown, they could have softened in a good way. You know, they could have started talking to their kids or whatever, you know? Instead of doing any of that, they're like, no, I'm just gonna do what my dad did. Just be furious every day until I die of an aneurysm at 52. You know, fight my doctor for telling me how to live or whatever. just that kind of guy. That's a lot of my wife's family is that guy. And last year we had to go meet up with a bunch of my wife's family. Her grandma turned 80, and she wanted to have an in-person birthday party. You know, last summer, mid-pandemic, everybody was terrified. She was like, I want to have everybody gather around and sing in my face, you know? I was like, does Nana not want an 81st? You know, it was just like, she wants a nice even birthday to go out on. It seemed insane, but we went, you know, we were in this room on a golf course, and as soon as my wife and I showed up, you know, everybody was excited to tell us, hey, you don't have to wear a mask in here. Isn't that nice? And I said, no shit. Is Nana not turning 80 in this room? How the hell? How did they pull that off? That's a powerful golf course. They can stop the sands of time for an afternoon. But yeah, it was weird, you know. And almost right away, my wife's Uncle Mike decides to give me shit because I'm wearing a mask with flowers on it. God forbid. Holy shit. Just an affront to everything he holds dear, you know. Just confuses and annoys him, you know, and has to give me shit. You know, he's like, flowers on a mask. That's not very masculine. You got any balls down there? And I was like, Uncle Mike, I have way too many balls. How about that? So many balls. I want to give you a number, but it's constantly changing, so I don't want to be wrong. I have too many balls, for sure. More than enough. I'm sick of buying custom pants. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at right now, Uncle Mike, with the balls situation. They're ganging up on my dick, making fun of him. Hey, look who shut up by himself. So yeah, it's just one of those fucking guys, man. One of those dudes, just annoying fucking dickhead dudes who think flowers are for girls. He's never smelled a flower. He sees that as like betraying his fucking his whole thing. You know, I was like, fucking traipse through a meadow, Uncle Mike. It'll change your life. Add a few years onto your fucking miserable existence. Yeah, men are supposed to buy flowers for their wives the morning of a birthday or anniversary. And you don't smell them on the way to the car. Those are not for you. What a stupid way to live. And I had to tell him, yeah, Mike, I've got fucking manly masks. They're all dirty from rolling around with the fellas, like men do. We don't say we love each other, we just have a little violence thrown in there to show that we're close. I got manly masks, Uncle Mike. I got a beer eating a steak on it. That's fucking manly, isn't it, Uncle Mike? I got a steak drinking a beer on it. Both of those steaks, well done, because pink is for girls. I'm gonna choke to death on this awful piece of meat. Fucking, I got a gun doing push-ups on it. That's pretty manly, huh? Lying about how many push-ups the gun can do. He only did 11, said it was 17, because he's weakness and strength. But fucking, I got a gun with a hard cock arm wrestle and a cigar on it. That's just a bunch of manly shit on these masks, Uncle Mike. The most manly one of all, I've got a tank who refuses to talk to his father for 25 years. Neither of them knows what happened, but they're both too proud to figure it out. That's fucking manly. All of these masks are available on my Etsy, but don't tell Uncle Mike I have an Etsy. Holy shit. That's it for me, everybody. I thank you for coming out.